think I can hear a phone ringing.
Really?
Max.
Oh my god, so can I.
Right
I
in my
really love
ear
that
hole.
tone. Very nice. Do you want to say you forgot that time? There we go. That was good.
Delightful.
Hello, Max and George. Me and my boyfriend have a bit of a problem.
Oh.
We've been together 3 years, and last year I realised that I was bi. So since then we have been experimenting with girls, if you know what I mean.
I do.
One of the girls was one of my best friends, which that is not the problem. However, she got really drunk when she was out with my mum, and she ended up telling her stuff, but I don't actually know what she told her because my mum hasn't full on said. However, I now feel really awkward around my mum because I don't know what she knows, and she hasn't mentioned it since. Please help.
Oh my god. Right, okay, so this is a lot to unpack.
Yeah.
So they've been together for
Just
3
like
years.
when I undo your belt.
Yeah, you're right.
Don't know I've said that.
Massive cock over here,
I
darling.
was talking more the caboose.
Oh, what is a caboose?
Arse.
Oh, that too.
Double cheeked up.
So they've been in a relationship for 3 years, and now they've discovered their bisexuality, and now they want to experiment with girls, but they obviously still love their boyfriend, so they're having threesomes. How would you feel if you were in a relationship with someone and they said, I want to expand our sex life and I want to have threesomes? Would that make you anxious, or would you be okay with it?
I feel like if I was in a relationship with them, I'd be like, oh, am I not enough?
Yeah. But also it's like,
Is this little...
what they're saying to you is, especially in this case, she's just discovered that she's bi, so it's not like you're not enough. I mean,
yeah, like,
I mean,
hello, I'm here.
True. But, I mean, technically it is like you're not enough, really, isn't it? Because it's like you physically can't deliver a vagina
Say
to
if
them.
you were bisexual before entering the relationship, well, you came out as bisexual before entering the relationship, then you wouldn't be like, oh, but I still want to try some girls out. You'd
be like, I'd made this choice, I'm going to go down this route.
So if it happens midway through...
That's more difficult to come to terms with, really,
then,
isn't it? It's obvious she still loves her boyfriend.
Would it be like, but do you need to explore your bisexuality? Does that mean that your boyfriend isn't enough or isn't? Like,
yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I mean, that's more for them to come to terms with.
Yeah,
they've obviously come to terms with it. She's more worried that her mum knows that she's been licking some puffs.
Licking some puffs?
I meant to say puss.
Yeah, puffs.
Maybe vagina, vaginas.
I don't think you're allowed to call them puffs.
That was my nickname in my whole life.
Oh, you poor thing.
Yeah, you poor thing.
Anyway,
I think that, I mean, it's never nice to think that your mum knows that you're shagging about. Have you ever been like heard or walked in on by a parent? No, but you've never really had a partner, have you?
I thought you were going to go for the, well, they're already in the room.
Oh my god, that would have been good. I'm so glad that you made that joke instead. Thank you. Editor, Alex, no. just edit it so it sounds like I said that.
How else you could manage that? That's a hell of an editorial
I thought
note.
that you were going to say they were already in the room.
Shut up now.
So, maybe the course of action is to confront your mum and go, listen, mum, I might have been engaging in threesomes with my boyfriend. That's none of your business. I don't know if she's told you about it, but don't ever bring it up. What is not heard can't be thought of.
Maybe say, what exactly has my friend told you?
But then you don't want to hear your mum say, oh, she told me that you rubbed each other's fannies against each other and that you went down on each other.
I don't think they'd go into that much detail with it.
Well, you just said, what exactly did my friend tell you?
Yeah, and it might just be, that you've been seeing someone alongside Jiminy Cricket or whatever your boyfriend's name is.
It could be Jiminy Cricket, to be fair.
As opposed to you
That'd
going,
be a really big coincidence.
Right, me and my boyfriend have been exploring other relationships and we've been rubby-dub-dubbing all up on each other.
I don't like how you tried to do my accent then, and it was actually very offensive. Didn't enjoy that. Northern community, I think cancelled. Let's get him.
Northern community don't have the means to cancel anyone.
Wow. Just you wait, darling. Just you wait. Have you ever heard of Liverpudlians? They will twat you. Yeah, see? Cancelled. Anyway, I know somebody. We both know somebody, actually.
We both do know somebody.
We do.
We know somebody who...
allowed a third party into the relationship, and afterwards it ruined it. And I think maybe that had more to do with the fact that they were same-gendered relationship.
Yeah, I think perhaps it's if you're trying to spice up your life by adding another person in as opposed to just like a little bit of
like a ball gag
friskiness.
and chains
Cheeky.
and perhaps drowning.
Drowning?
Isn't it a thing that if you're about to die, then you have the best orgasm of your life?
I don't imagine you'd be enjoying the situation.
There's people that like, I don't know if this is too much for like YouTube and everything, but there's people that like hang their neck and like wank off because there's that moment where if you're about to suffocate and you cut, and then it apparently feels amazing, and then they like loosen the whatever.
That sounds heavily troubling. I
think it's real though.
It might be real, but I wouldn't advise it.
No, I definitely not advise
This isn't
it.
a wiki how
People
on
have
how to
died
have the
by,
best
like, doing
orgasm.
it.
This is actually something not to do.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
We're not kink shaming, but I mean, if your kink is death, maybe you need to be shamed. Do you know what I mean?
We're not necessarily shaming. We're just medically advising.
Yeah.
As the two PhD
Isn't it
students
that
we
Army
are.
Hammer? Oh my God.
What?
Do you know that Army Hammer guy
Who?
was into cannibalism?
What?
Have you heard of Army Hammer? What? How have you not heard? Army Hammer was like a really famous actor. And
Clearly not that famous.
no, he actually is.
Two
I
of the
can't
three
remember what
people
he's
in the
in
room don't know
though.
who he is.
I can't remember what he was in, but he is very famous. And it recently got
Stop
found
calling the guy
out.
very famous if we don't know who he is.
He's really famous. Anyway, it recently got found out like a year ago that that he was into like cannibalism sexually, and a lot of his ex-girlfriends came out saying that like he would cut them or like bite them really hard to the point where they would bleed, and then one of them specifically came out saying that he asked her to get her rib removed so that he could cook it and eat it.
That's
and
a
then-
hell of
and-
a...
How crazy. And now he's like blacklisted from everything. He's
Oh.
like, he's not
What, Frankie Benny's?
yeah, he's not allowed in. They actually Frankie and Benny's put out an official statement.
It's not bring your own ribs.
No, an Army Hammer, you're not allowed in.
Hmm.
And now he apparently lives in like a complete random island somewhere and works in a hotel. Like
Oh.
somebody spotted him recently. I got told about it. But how mental is that there's like things out there like that and
No,
they just
yeah, that
get
is-
exposed randomly? How did we get onto this? What was the question?
Something about... inviting your friend into your relationship.
Yes. Okay then. So the advice
So
that I
our
would give,
advice is to get him to offer up a rib,
yeah,
cook it up, and you can become blood
ribs
brothers.
for your pleasure.
Ugh.
Yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it? Maybe then, yeah, say to your mum, right, I don't know what you've been told. If you don't even want her to know about it, just say it's not true. She was really drunk. I mean, what is a white lie? What is a black lie even? A dark, what are they called? Is it white and black lie? Or just like a
I
strong
think the
lie?
scale goes fib, white lie, lie,
Extreme lie.
XXX lie,
Oh. There's a club, oh my God, there's a club in
Lion
London that was
bar.
called XXL.
What?
There was a club in London that was called XXL. I don't know if it's still open. And me and my ex-boyfriend went to it thinking that it was like a gay dance club, and it
Right.
had a dark room. Do you know what a dark room is?
A room without the lights on.
Oh my God, no. Well, that's similar to what we thought.
Photograph room where you...
When I tell you, so
where
we went
you-
into
you-
this club,
Oh, okay.
and to get in, it cost like 25 quid, and we were like, what the hell? And it was purely because one night we were like, oh, shall we like Google if there's any more clubs other than Heaven, because we used to go to Heaven all the
Yeah.
time.
Wait, it was called XXL.
XXL.
Did it have a weight limit? Why is it called XXL?
I mean, imagine for a second why it could possibly be called XXL if
Willies.
it's a gay club. There you go.
Big willies.
So we are
What
queuing
the hell
up.
are you in?
Well, exactly.
Is it like a roller coaster ride where you have to
Yeah, you have to measure
up
before you go
against
in.
stuff?
Yeah. But it
I've
cost
never allowed
25
those
quid.
rides.
It cost 25 quid to go in, and I was like, oh my God, that's a bit weird in itself, but whatever. There was loads of people queued up, all men, which should have been a bit of a warning sign. And then you had to sign a waiver, like physically sign a waiver before you went in with a pen
Yeah.
and everything. Went in, and everyone was topless. Every single person was topless.
Right.
Big, like, muscly guys, little, like, skinny guy, every sort of variety of man. Here I am. was there topless, and I was like, oh my god. My ex-boyfriend had a really good body, so he was like, fine. I was a bit mushy, like, on that side.
Bit mushy?
I had a better body than I have now, but I still never really felt confident just, like, being topless around loads of people. Yeah. But I had to do it. People were coming up to me like, why haven't you got your top off? Like, I was the weirdo for not having my top off.
Oh.
So then I took it off. And to be fair, there was, like, great dance music. I was loving it. We were getting groped everywhere that we went. So I was like, that's a bit of a warning flag.
Oh.
Like, what is going on?
Didn't like that bit.
No. And then it said dark room. And we were like, what is this? And loads of people were walking into it. It was like a globe sign that said
and
dark
nobody
room.
could find the way out.
Well, just you wait. So I'm like, what does that even mean? Does it mean like heavy metal music, like dark? We literally
emo room is the way you thought it was.
Genuinely,
going.
That's what we were sat there like, what? So we walk into it, and it's literally pitch black, and you're like, what the hell? And you started to hear less and less music. And it was like, what the hell? And do you know, like, if you are in a dark room and then suddenly your eyes start to adjust to, like, being in darkness, it gradually started to do that as we were, like, walking through. We were holding hands, and there was this, like, fence. And I remember, like, we were holding that because we were like, we can't see, like a scare maze. And then once we'd, like, got in, we were like, oh, you can, like, hear people now. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
And then our eyes slowly started to adjust, and we were like, oh, my God. And all that you could hear was... We were in the middle of about 50 to 100 people all shagging each other.
Oh, wow.
Like, all around us. And we were literally like, what the hell is going on? Like,
I bet you wish you didn't eat your carrots that day.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
That would have helped a lot. But I was in such shock. And it was a one-way system. So you couldn't go back. You had to go through everything. So we had to go through all these people.
There's a whole different story of we went on a bear hunt.
Yeah, well.
We had to go through it.
But genuinely, yeah. And it was such a shock. We were both like, oh my God. Bear in mind, he was like 5 years older than me. So the fact that he didn't know that, I was like 19. I didn't have a clue.
Yeah.
And I was in such shock. And we just went all the way out. And then I think we left shortly after. And then we broke up a week later because he wanted, quite similar to this, he wanted to go and like engage in stuff with people. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that.
So a week after accidentally walking into a room of loads of people shagging, he goes, Max, I think we should invite somebody else in. That wasn't an accident.
No, on the night.
That dark room wasn't an accident.
On the night, he said like, I want to, like, we should just do something. And I was like, no. And then a week later, we broke up.
Huh.
So it's quite similar to this situation.
Wow.
But yeah, mental. So that kind of applies here. If you're not comfortable with it, maybe don't do that. Maybe don't do a threesome scenario. But they seem to be comfortable with it. Why should anybody be judging their relationship that's not them? And if your mum finds out, it's 2022, darling. People are shagging left, right, and centre. It is
still your mum, though.
Well, yeah, don't shag your mum.
We're not saying shag your mum. I'm just saying she doesn't necessarily want to know about it.
Oh, right, yeah. Well, then that. But her daughter didn't say anything. It was the random girl who said it, who's been engaging in intercourse with her and her boyfriend.
I guess
she couldn't control that.
I guess you don't have to know what she knows. Just don't address it.
Just don't address it. Family secrets are what keep families together.
I don't know if that is true.
Well, it is in your case.
Why, Max?